The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey guys, thanks for taking the time out to be on our call today. I'm Doug Mitchell with Ogletree Financial, and today we've got a treat for you. Our mortgage protection department, which is run by David Whitehead and Jimmy Pyron, are going to be doing a presentation for us. And these guys are really killing it right now in an industry that has kind of soured over the years, but they continually put up big numbers for the mortgage protection lead sales, and the program that they've got that's generating, at least 5% mail response. Some areas are getting as much as 10 to 12%. It's just unheard of. So I'm going to hand it over to David and Jimmy. And guys, if you're not already doing business with Ogletree, we'd love to talk to you about how we can help you get in front of more people and make more money and qualify for some nice trips and prizes and just start working together. So, David, Jimmy, you guys take it away.
Okay, thank you, Doug. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the webinar. We're just going to take about 20 minutes here to run through and explain what we've got going on here. On your screen, you should see my name and Jimmy's name with our office line number there. Please keep in mind, if you're trying to call us, the phones have been crazy ringing off the hook, and we're trying to get back to everybody, so please leave us a message if you're not able to get through. I promise you we'll get back to you just as quickly as we can. Okay, moving on, you should hopefully be seeing the welcome screen. It says here, welcome to the Mortgage is Paid webinar. Pretty much as you can see on the screen, what it says there, we have perfected a turnkey system for generating mortgage leads in all areas that no lead company in the country can compete with. And this is what the system we're going to share with you for free. It's been painstakingly revised over and over the past few years, and Jimmy and I have this down to a science. And it works really, really well, and there's just some really exciting things that we're going to tell you here about it. So hang on and listen in. The next screen we're going to show you first off is a copy of the lead template that we generally use. Any of you in the mortgage market or have ever bought leads for mortgage protection probably have seen this particular format. It's quite common. As you can see, it has the address and the loan amount near the top. Down near the bottom, there's the place for the borrower and the co-borrower to put their birth date, sex, height, weight, tobacco use, phone numbers to contact, and so forth. This has been the best working lead that I have ever been able to work with ever since we've been doing mortgage protection. We've tried a number of web leads, internet leads, telephone leads, you name it, and nothing works as well as this particular mail-in lead, because these folks, if they're interested, they fill the information out and they return it to us, and it just seems to be the one that produces the best. So this is our main lead template, but on the next slide here, I want to show you, we've revised it a little bit because now with one of our companies we have, with all of the companies now, we have living benefits available in our products. And we made a little change in the middle of the next lead template you should be seeing there. It shows the living benefits available, and we've actually been able to increase our mail response by as much as 1.5–2% in some areas, just by having this added in here where it talks about critical illness and that it pays up to so much money for that. Actually, I'm now noticing there's another lead template that we have that actually talks about paying you for heart attack, stroke, or cancer. And so I apologize. We have like 3 different lead templates that we use, but it says in there like this, the living benefit. And it pays for, it actually says it in there that it pays for the heart attack, stroke, and cancer. And I really think, because a lot of people already have life insurance, this added in there, they think, geez, I'm not covered if I survive, if something happens to me, if I have a heart attack and I don't die. So it's a really good lead template where the products in your state are available. This is the lead template that we would recommend using. So I'm going to move on to the next slide here. And this should be showing what we are looking for. We are looking for agents that are, if you're currently working in the mortgage lead market, that is our primary focus, obviously. Or if you're looking to get into that and you've, like Doug said earlier, it's kind of gone sour over the past few years with the real estate market going down and the economy not going as blazing as it was 4, 5, 6 years ago. But we have a way to operate very efficiently in this downturn, and we have been for the past few years. So, you know, if you're looking at possibly getting into this market, this is, you know, what we're looking for. Agents that are tired of paying between $20 and $40 per lead, looking to reduce their lead expenses. The last company that Jimmy and I were with, we left, I left back in '07. I was paying as much as $44 per lead. One of the agents that we just brought on in the state of Maryland had ordered some leads right before he came on, and he paid $60 per lead. So they're really getting expensive. And, you know, if you're working 10 or 15 of these a week, imagine having to pay that lead bill each and every week before you get to keep any of your money. And that's what this program here is all about, is to show you how we can do this at a much reduced cost. We're looking for agents, obviously, seeking higher commissions, looking to get in front of more qualified, interested buyers. That was the biggest thing for me. You know, I can do the dance at the table. I can close it. I just need more people to get in front of. And as you all know on the phone, hearing my voice, it's expensive to market. And, you know, that has a lot to do with the cost here. But getting in front of these people, more people and more efficiently is what makes this thing work so well. Agents looking to take total control of their own business. Never again having to be a slave to a lead company is a wonderful feeling. And hopefully you guys will get to experience that. We are looking for agents that are willing to commit more of a full-time effort. Our goal is to get you writing with us at least $10,000 a month in annualized premium. If you're not doing that, or if you've been in the business for a while, you know if you're not writing at least that in the life market, you're really not making any money. And we're not really interested in, you know, we're not interested in you unless you feel as well that if we can put you into the lead and get your program working in your area for you, that you can write that kind of business. That's what we're looking for. So that is our goal. We strive for it all the time. We've got our top agents. One of my top agents just crossed over the $30,000 mark for July, and he's just he's one of the top producers using the very system that we're talking about here. So just, I don't know how much business you guys want to write or how much money you want to make, but I think we've got the system that will certainly provide it for you. Moving on to the next slide, I'm going to run down this one real quick, what we can offer for you, and then I'm going to turn it over to Jimmy. But on the first thing, of course, is a turnkey system that works anywhere in America. Now, the results are going to vary somewhat. We have larger returns in areas like, well, where Jimmy and I live, and I just think it's because we're excellent at the lead program. We're good at picking data. We know our areas really well. There's some states that have restrictions on what you can put on the lead, and therefore it affects the return a little bit. But, you know, pretty much across the country, we're averaging about a 5% response rate, which is just insane, unheard of. Actually, where Jimmy and I are located in South Mississippi, we are actually generating just a little bit over 10% response on these. So obviously, the better response rate you can get, the cheaper the leads are. Our leads are actually running probably about $8 to $10, but overall, you're probably looking at about $15 for an average return, which is still phenomenal. Going to number 2, the absolute freshest generated mail-in leads available. This is really important. I've worked in this market, Jimmy and I both have, since 2004. We've been in it 9 years, and we've worked these leads where the mortgages were originated as long as a year ago or even up to 2 years ago. We don't do that. The data that we mail to, all of our data is very, very fresh. None of it is ever more than a few days old to about a week old maybe. So the people that fill these out and send these in, they just originated this mortgage. And I'm talking like in the last week or two. So that's really important. The third thing, the average lead cost I just covered is roughly about $10 to $15. Again, that just depends on where you're located at. and if you're following everything that we're, asking you to do. There's a certain way to do it and to make it happen, and, we get those kind of results. On the number 4, we show here a 95% guarantee that you were the first one to contact this lead. Now, believe it or not, I'm lowballing here. Okay, if you're doing this program right, you're going to actually just about 100% of the time be the first to contact. And any of you who have ever worked in the mortgage protection business know that being the first in the door or to contact these leads, that is everything to the success of what you're going to do. Those of you who have worked in this business, a lot of you have probably ordered leads before and got so-called A leads, and you call, and you may have been the first person to contact them before anybody else did. But I'm sure if you've worked them a while, many of you, like Jimmy and myself, we've got what we thought were A leads, and it turns out we were like maybe the 3rd, the 4th, or the 5th person to contact the lead. And let me tell you, their attitude toward you and the whole situation is quite different than if you're the first. So we have what we like to call an unfair advantage when we are, working the leads that we're generating, because we always, just about 99% of the time, I'll say, get in there and are the first to contact them. And that's really big and very important aspect of what we're doing and why we're so successful with what we're doing. The 5th thing is the protected territory. Hey, you guys, it's like a cliche. I know you've heard this a bunch of times before, but when you understand what it is we do and how we are doing it, you'll really understand the true meaning of protected territory. But in a nutshell, if we have an agent up working our system and producing in an area, we're going to do everything we can to protect that area, and we're not going to put anybody else, obviously, in there on top of you doing the same thing that you're already doing, because that would dilute results, costs go up, leads go down, and that's not what we want. So, if we've got, an agent that's committed and that can, write the kind of business we think we can generate out of the area, that's what we're going to do for you, is protect it every way we can. Going on to number 6, guarantee the lowest out-of-pocket expenses to run your business. I know firsthand, as well as Jimmy, we have had ridiculous lead bills in the past, buying these leads, and, you're paying for mailers and all this other kind of stuff. I mean, those of you who have ever done this, you know what I'm talking about. I can guarantee you, you cannot operate in this particular niche of the business any more efficiently with the least amount of cost than what we are actually doing here. By far, much, much cheaper. You don't have to write as much business. You can keep more of your money. You're not under the gun to, get out there and, force sales and write cases to try to hurry up and cover your lead bill so then you can start making a little bit of money. It's not like that at all, guys. It's really, it's just it's a whole lot better than that. Going on to number 7, as you can see there, we have web-based training 24/7. Just so you know, and I didn't mention it before, but the TMIT 101, that stands for The Mortgage is Paid. And it's a website that we created. Basically, once you come on with us and we have you appointed, we have a lot of good training stuff in there. We have the best script in the world that was authored by Jimmy Pyron. We have, some phone call recordings, just a number of things to help you, a fast start program to help you with getting, set up with us and what you need to do. And there's just a lot of good information on there, and we turn you on to that once we get you appointed with us. And the last thing I'll talk about before I turn it over to Jimmy is the contest that we have, the trips, the prizes, the cash. Oh, my gosh. It's all obviously production-driven, but, I mean, the production requirements are ridiculously low. And I'll just speak real quickly of this, but, this year, for instance, with one of our companies, $50,000 of placed business for the entire year gets you and a companion with all the expenses paid, including the flight. This year, well, next year, I should say, the one we're qualifying for now, we're going to Miami. I've been on these trips before. They are amazing. They take such great care of us, and it's all-inclusive. Everything is great. But along with that, Doug and myself and some other folks, all under the Ogletree brand name, we are offering a trip to Cancun, Mexico next year, and the same $50,000 qualifies if you write it with any of the companies in the Ogletree family. It's not just one of the companies. One of our main companies for mortgage protection is Transamerica Family Markets, and you know, if you were to write, say, the $50,000 with them, well, obviously you'll qualify for their trip to Miami coming up, but you would automatically qualify for the Cancun trip. But you could write, you know, any of the companies in the Ogletree family, and there are many of them, and you could qualify for this trip. So we've got a lot of exciting things going on regarding that, and we can't wait to speak with you. Obviously, some of you on the phone, we don't know where you're located, so we may have some location issues there, but we'll cover that type of stuff when we talk with you on the phone. Right now, I want to turn it over to Jimmy, and thank you very much for your time. Jimmy?
Thanks a lot, David. I sure appreciate it. Okay, a little bit about the lead mailer that you guys saw a copy of earlier. And real quick, let me just say this. David mentioned he started doing what we're currently doing now in 2007. We got together doing this thing with the other organization in 2004. He left in 2007. I live down here near him, and long story short, 2 years later in 2009, I was still paying $40 plus for a so-called A lead. The quality had went down, the cost had gone up. I was really struggling, and he called me and told me what he was doing. And he told me the response he was getting, that the lead was better, and the cost. And I didn't believe him. What he did, so he said, he invited me over to his house. I went over to his house. He'd been spending the last 2 years perfecting this system down, like he said, to a science. He showed me 2 years worth of spreadsheets. And then fast forward to 2013, everything we're saying is completely true. The response rate that we're getting and the lead cost. And the leads are fresher. If I had to pay $44 to $50 for this lead right now, I would do it in a heartbeat, because of the fact that he said we're the first person to call the lead, and that's such an unfair advantage that we have. So by contracting with us, we will set you up with our turnkey lead mailer system. That's the system we're talking about that generates this high response rate we're talking about, and this puts you in control of your leads. You're not at the mercy of some mail house and the flow of your leads for your designated area. And like you said, depending on the area's response, it is going to vary based on where you are. Your per lead cost could be as low as $8 to $10 for the absolute freshest lead available. The system does require work on your part. And I've got to really stress that, but it can be well worth it for you regarding your bottom line expenses. We were selling a ton of this stuff at the other company. As compared to leads now, I want to say as bad as the leads were, we were still making a pile of money. The problem was, we were shelling so much of it out. And so basically we teach you how to do your own lead mailer. Okay, so we do not sell the leads. I just want to mention that. We're not really interested in captive people who have captive contracts somewhere else. We're more looking for, you know, the independent agents that want to take control of their business and follow our lead mailer system. Moving on, so you can go to our website at www.tmip101.com. Click on the Apply tab. I do ask that you fill out all the information in its entirety. All the questions are extremely important. Once we receive your application, we're going to process it and evaluate it very carefully. Your answers on the application will definitely greatly determine if you're a candidate or not for our program. So please fill out the application and submit it to us as soon as possible. Territories are being considered now, but like David said, there's only so many territories, and a lot of them are filling up. Unfortunately, if you're not able to meet all of the requirements, like being able to sign on with our companies on the application, you know, then that's kind of what we're looking for. We will be happy to speak with you on an individual basis concerning the availability in your area, but I do want to say this. We do welcome your phone calls, but we get a lot of responses after we do one of these webinars. We really get flooded, and it may take a couple of 2 or 3 days for us to be able to get back in touch with you, but we will be in touch with you guys. And I will say that the people that fill out the form, as opposed to leaving a message, will be contacted first. So I'm going to throw that out there. As far as production, like David said, we're really looking for more agents willing to devote a full-time effort at this. Any given territory should be able to produce about 8 to 20 leads a week. And that really depends on the size of the area. Obviously, a larger area is going to have more, with more lead flow, we're going to want more production out of that area. Some areas are going to produce more than one agent can work, and some areas you may have to be expanded to generate enough leads. In other words, some agents can work one county, and some agents have to spread out because they just don't have enough data. Just spoke on larger areas that produce more leads are expected to generate more business in order to maintain the exclusivity. That exclusivity is another very important aspect of this program. I can tell you this, we were promised exclusivity where we were before, and there were agents stumbling all over each other, and that's not what we're all about. So go ahead, and the next step is to visit us at www.tmip, again that stands for TheMortgageIsPaid101.com, and fill out the application. Thank you to David once again. I always say this, for sharing this system with me, because mortgage protection, if you've never worked a mortgage protection lead, when I saw this lead for the first time, these people are really interested in buying life insurance. And coming from a big captive company where I came from, I had never seen a lead like that. So just the mortgage protection lead itself, I was able to double my income 2 years in a row. But when David shared what we're doing now, it's just it was just another eye opener, and I'm very grateful for him for creating this system. We do have it down to a science. David, you want to wrap us up?
Yeah, thank you, Jimmy. Again, guys, we just want you to take a look at the website. When you're on there, it may answer a few of your questions. I know you'll probably have quite a bit more. Like Jimmy said, please fill out the form as completely as you are able to, and just send it in, and we'll get in touch with you as quickly as we can. We hope to make contact with everybody, but like Jimmy said, we really get swamped. We don't mean to get that far backed up, but it really takes a while when we're talking to each one of you and answering the questions. It's a great program. It's worth waiting for, so please be patient with us as we try to reach all of you. Hopefully this is something here that you can find a home with us and the Ogletree family. These are, Jimmy and I both are so fortunate to be able to work with Doug and Ogletree. They've got so many things going on. There's so much on the cutting edge. We've got great things coming up for the future, so we would love for you to be a part of that, and just want to thank you for your time. And everybody have a great day, and we hope to talk to you very soon. Thank you so much.